What's up, everyone? Thanks for joining me today at Boardscape. I'm Aaron, and today I am going to be giving you a 3v3 rundown on Darwin's Journey. Now, the 3v3 format is going to be one where I share with you 3 things that I am excited for in this campaign and 3 things that worry me. So let's get right to it. The first thing that I am excited for with Darwin's Journey is the proven track record of Thundergryph Games. Now, Thundergryph Games has already had a number of Kickstarters before, including Awari, Tang Garden, Spirits of the Forest, a lot of decent games, and Darwin's Journey by far looks to be their best. Now, it's also created by, I'm going to butcher these names, I'm sorry, you can just look right here, Simone Luciani, Nestor Mangone, and art by Vodo. All these things, or these names that come up in the board game industry, these are people who know what they're doing, right? And that's going to actually lead me into the second thing that excites me, which is the solo mode, which is made by David Turtsky. Now, those of you that don't know David Turtsky, he's the man behind Anachrony. And Anachrony is by far one of the coolest solo mode games that I have ever played. And so, again, those just sort of tie together, where David Turtsky, Thundergryph Games, these are all big names who have done well in the industry already. They know what they're doing, and that excites me for Darwin's Journey. Going back to number 2 here, that I am excited for the solo mode, right? The solo mode, again, is created by David Turtsky, who has done amazing things in the past. He's a true professional, right? And the thing is I have heard or read that the solo mode in this game actually works really well. There are some overviews and reviews of the solo mode out there, so go ahead and check those out. But if you are a solo player primarily, like I am, then it's definitely worth checking out, just for the solo mode. You have a board, sort of like this is one of the alternative boards here, but you're going to have a board that you're basically competing against. And so it sort of turns it into it always turns it into a you versus the game, because that's, what it is. But you can check out this board where the enemy ship goes up here, the various different tasks that they can do, different colors. Their animals are over here. So you're basically competing against that and just trying to create the best engine that you can and score the most points. So if you're a solo player, check this out. The third thing that excites me about this is the amount of access that they have given us on this Kickstarter page. I fall head over heels for games that allow me to try it out before I buy it. This campaign is chock full of videos, previews, overviews, and even ways that you can access the game now, which I'll get to in just a second. But it's one of those, if you're worried that this is not a game that you are going to enjoy, then it is far enough developed that I don't expect too much to change. But also, you can pretty much figure out if you're going to like it by this campaign. They have the explore the game in a 360 degrees. So it opens you up to Thundergryph Games and literally gives you a 3D model of the game that you can just sit here and check out. Which, if you don't have Tabletop Simulator, then this is awesome. You can get close-up views, you can explore it, move it around. There's just all sorts of things that you can do. Shows the museum, the player board. You can zoom in, zoom out. This is pretty much taken from TTS. So you can look at it there. Like I said, it has, where are they? all of these tutorials and how to plays and reviews, 5 things people are excited for. All sorts of content creators are here. And when you scroll down, maybe I passed it. Yep, I passed it. But basically, they give you the rule book that you can read, so you can figure out if you're going to like it. And they also have it available on Tabletop Simulator. So if you have that, you can literally go play the game right now for free and see if it's worth purchasing for you. Which I have not done yet, but I am going to be doing before I make my final decision. So 3 things I'm excited for. It's a proven track record, and the people behind this game know what they're doing. The solo mode is created by David Turtsky and looks really good. And the amount of access that this game has put out is basically second to none, right? So there are 3 things that worry me. The first thing is the 2-player experience. In multiple reviews I have watched and read, the 2-player experience always comes up as one that is not really up to par. That the solo mode is good, 3 and 4 players is good, but if you primarily play at a 2-player count, this might not be that good of a game for you. And that primarily comes down to the fact that you're not going to be... These spaces here are ones that you unlock during the game. And as they are unlocked, more people can go there, which will give you a benefit if you're the one that unlocked it. Down here, you're going to be jumping over other players as they travel around the Galapagos. And so that's going to sort of change up where you go and where you want to go based off of the direction that other players go. There's just going to be a lot here that is good with more players. So I primarily play solo and 2-player. I'm interested in this primarily for the solo aspect. And hoping that the 2-player is better than people say it is, but we'll see. The second thing that worries me here is, do I really need to kickstart it? I mean, this is going to be a game that really is going to be on the shelves for years, right? It's going to do well. It's already doing well. It's probably for sure going to pass $1 million. And do I really need to put money up to it right now to get it in a year from now? I'm not so sure. And a lot of that comes down to the stretch goals, which I'm going to get to here in number 3. But my number 2 is simply, I'm not sure if I necessarily need to back this game. Knowing that it'll be available later. Knowing that by then, I might even be able to find it on sale. If I'm interested in the base game, there's no reason for me to pledge now. I'll be able to get it for at least the $55, if not cheaper later down the road. And plus shipping on top of that. So if you're a diehard and you need it now, and you're going in for the collector's edition, then I get that. But if you're just interested in the game, you're like, yes, that looks fun, but I don't necessarily need the collector's edition, you might as well wait. And a lot of that leads me into the third thing that worries me, and that's the stretch goals. Let me scroll down here to the stretch goals. And one thing that I really has always bugged me is when stretch goals are split into 2 separate parts, right? And this is one of those. I know this is a personal thing for me, but I hate campaigns. I hate when campaigns do this, where I'm not if I go at the base game level, then I'm not unlocking everything. And I understand why they do it. I know that the collector's edition actually comes with an entire other expansion. What's it called? The Fireland expansion. A whole new board for this new expansion. Adding varying elements. A whole... Look, this is way different than what you have before. The Firelands changes up the game in that regard. So again, that's a collector's edition exclusive, so if you want that, get it. But only certain items here are going to be for the collector's edition. And a lot of these things that are unlocked just don't really excite me, right? Having printed, or what are those called? Screen prints, maybe? Components. Evolution books will replace the discs to track your theory of evolution. They just sort of do little upgrades that campaigns do. A new solo mode and 2 additional cards, an alternative board, new art, weathered looking pieces to match the theme better, special actions, stuff like that. A whole new ocean track for the Firelands map, thicker punch boards, more, what do these replace here? 4 wooden insects that replace the discs on the turn order. So really, it is a bunch of small upgrades that are good, especially if you're getting the collector's edition. But overall, I'm personally just not that excited for these, and don't know if it's really worth the extra $50 to get all that stuff. And I say 50 because shipping's 15. You're paying $30 extra between the base game and the collector's edition. So I really have to, when it comes out in the store, I can probably get it for between 40 and 50 after a couple months, especially in a sale. So is the upgrade worth what you get? Is it worth an extra $50? I don't know. That's for you to decide, right? I mean, you do get an expansion to it, so if you are like gung-ho about this and you get that, all these upgrades, I could buy another game for that price. But if you want to bling it out, go for it. But overall, those are the 3 things that worry me about this game, this campaign. Nothing too big. I'm waiting until the last day to decide whether I'm going to get it or not. I have to play it on Tabletop Simulator still. I need to do that soon so that I can play a couple times. But I'm also really looking at Primal the Awakening, completely different game. And that campaign overlaps with this one. So I'm waiting to see the price on that to see if I can get both or if I need to choose. And at that point, I would choose. So, thank you for joining me for the first 3v3. I'm hoping to be able to do these on a lot of the bigger games, just to be able to give you an extra couple things to think about. Some things that I like, some things that I don't, where I will still have basic overviews of the games in my Kickstarter weeklies. So, those are not going away. This is just an additional thing to help you figure out if these are campaigns worth backing. Thank you for joining me, and until next time, game on.